This is Comic Picks by the Glick.
Hey, I'm your host, Jason Glick.
Hey, Jason, what's going on, man?
Hey, John, it's all good. And tonight, we're going back to a subject that is well, not quite near and dear to the hearts of everyone who's listened to this before, but hey, it's you like panties, I like panties, you like fan service, I like fan service, but only when it's done in a imaginative and ambitious way, right? Okay, that silence tells me all I need to know,
Am I
and I
supposed to say
guess
right?
nope.
Right.
It's that's about the only respectable response anyone could conjure to this podcast, and because we're going back to the works of Akira Hiramoto, and while some people may remember that he is the respectable artist who gave us the story of Daniel Johnson and his struggle at the crossroads with Me and the Devil Blues, he's best known around these parts as the creator of the 28 volume fan service masterpiece, Prison School. Basically, the story of a bunch of dumbass high school boys who are stuck in the transition in their school's transition from an all girls school to an all boys school to a co-ed school, but they're it's just it just does not work out for them as they run afoul of the shadow student council, who was determined to make the school get the boys out of the school. But the series it's someone is one that I enjoyed throughout because Hiramoto is a guy who just looks at fan service and goes, yeah, you know what? I've seen plenty of series though that show breasts and boobs and panty shots, but I need to do something more. I need to find out a new way to do these things, something that people haven't seen before. And that's the ambition and idiocy that drove Prison School throughout its 28 volume run. And I enjoyed it, even if I will concede that its first half is a lot stronger than its second half, and that it ended in a way that basically just had him going, well, I'm done here, peace out, y'all. Like and it just ended with just him just just quitting. So there you go. But because he's a creator who's determined to keep going and they can deliver all sorts of new stuff to his fans. Well, here we have his new series, Raw Hero. This is basically to sum it all up in one sentence. It's prison school, both superheroes, because he just probably looked at the present landscape and went, hey, you know what? Everyone seems to like superheroes. I mean, like that Marvel, cinematic universe seems to be pretty popular. There are some people who seem to like that DC universe stuff. And oh my god, it's My Hero Academia. That's popular as hell. I should get in on this. So what we have here is that Raw Hero is a 6 volume series that focuses on the conflict between the Justice Management Team and the Special Ability Liberation Front. Now, if I were to give any specific consideration to these two entities, well, the JMT are basically the lawful good heroes. They're like it's like the heroes that the lawful interpretation of of superheroes. They're just trying to keep the peace, and make sure that anyone who has any superpowered abilities are using them for good. Special Ability Liberation Front, however, believe that there was recognized that there was some kind of incident that basically granted certain people superpowered abilities, and they want the government to be more transparent about that. Um, Ostensibly, the JMT are the good guys, and the South are the bad guys. But that's all relative and all because our main character for this series is Chiaki. He's a he's a high school or even college graduate who's basically determined to make sure that his two brothers, Chiharu and Chinatsu, are able to be provided for. But the problem is that when we meet at the beginning of the series, that he's not able to do that. He's trying to find a regular job, and it's like, and things aren't working out well for him. And but the thing is, like he's managed to get it's like an interview with a company that basically like recognizes his sob story as being a older brother who's ill to provide for his two younger brothers, and all he has to do is just get to the interview on time. Problem is when he sees like an older dude molesting a younger woman. It's like on the train as he's going to that interview. Like he calls him out, and it's like and tries to like intervene in this this carriage of injustice. And when he does this, the molester basically goes, "Wow, I'm so impressed you were able to see through what we were doing here." Because it turns out that this guy is a dude named Hyoichiro Tadano, also known as Cap to his buddies, because he's a captain in the district management team. And it turns out that he's just molesting this girl as a sexual role play fantasy. And in fact, when he tries to intervene and telling like the people that Shaki is going to interview with, no, I totally wasn't molesting this girl. Why are you even bringing this up, man? It's like, well, it's like it's really awkward for everyone involved. But he recognizes what's going on, and so he offers Chiaki a chance to come work for him in the JMT. All he has to do is just wear this outfit that Cap has set up for him, and go to this interview that's for South as they're recruiting new members. And this seems pretty straightforward, except for the fact that when Chiaki goes to pick up the uniform, he sees that it's a woman's outfit for a woman by the name of Amane Shirasawa. And so he basically thinks that, oh, well, I guess this is what Cap wants me to do, so I'll go and dress up as a girl and go to this interview. The thing is, though, is that Amane Shirasawa is Cap's original character that he's created for a VTuber experience. And it turns out that, and so he didn't actually mean for Chiaki to dress up as this girl, but when he goes to the interview, and not only gets to meet Asahiyama, the elephant-clad member of the South, Korida, it's like one of their higher ups, and their big bad member, Jelly E Fish. Well, it's like he's basically got to commit to what the backstory that Cap has set up, and wouldn't you know it, it actually works, because while the South basically recognizes that, oh my God, like the story this girl is telling us, it's like she's basically being set up and exploited by an evil idol manager. So we're just going to hire her out of pity, in order to make sure that she doesn't get exploited further. So that's a setup for Raw Hero. You've got Chiaki pretending to be a woman, infiltrating the South, trying to secure a better livelihood for his brothers. But as things go on, it's it just gets more ridiculous as the series progresses, such as when he meets Mariko, an aspiring manga artist who is totally not Jelly E Fish, wink wink, and she's trying to make make her life make a better life for herself, doing as she wants. And even though he saves her from from a drunken night out, and even manages to convince her that, yeah, you should go and pursue your dreams as a manga artist. It's like there's that, but there's also the fact that he gets tied up in the in the JMT's other anti-evil evil person offensive known as the Pussy Rangers. It's and then Mihono, she's basically someone who encounters Chiaki as he's coming back home from a South objective, completely cross-dressed, and finds out that, oh my God, he's actually a guy. It's oh my God, this is getting me so hot. it's like, and she wants to like make him her like her new it's like her new bestie and all. It's like it's ridiculous. It's dumb. It's like it's over the top. It's over the top silly. And the short version of this is that hey, you know what? If you like Prison School and you're looking for more like the same kind of like sexy, dumb, ridiculous stuff, then yeah, it's like Raw Hero like is gonna provide for you. It's also like only a quarter as long, like at only 6 volumes. Now, whether or not that is due to the fact that like the series like just wasn't as commercially successful as Hiromoto planned, or the fact that Hiromoto like it was only that Hiromoto could have kept this going for longer, but then realized that it's like I might as well just like go ahead and call this quits, just like quit while I'm ahead and all. So there's both are equally valid assumptions, but I guess it's like in order to like determine your acceptance of like Raw Hero, there's like a good bit. It's like at the end of volume 3 where where Mariko like where she's asked Jackie to come with her to help to make sure things are presented like fairly enough for her like for her manga edition with an editor for this one magazine. Well, Jackie is about as helpful as you expect, and when they all like go to this one like go to one like go to this one apartment to relax for the evening. Well, volume 3 ends with the editor coming up to Jackie without any pants on, and he's just like saying, "Hey, what? It's like let's get down to like like it's like helping get your manga better with it." And he's saying this like with he's got a gigantic heart on, and you think of this and think like, "Oh my god!" It's like this is like sexual assault. This is not funny at all. Until you get to the next volume, volume 4, when it's realized that when when Naraka basically tells him, "My God, why are you coming after me with no pants on?" And he goes, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry." It's like this is how I normally react when like when I'm at home. I just walk around with no pants on. It's like let me go put some underwear and some pants on, and that's it. That's the explanation. It's like I mean, you hear this and think, "My God, this is so goddamn dumb," and it's like doesn't make any sense at all. And yet, that's really how this series and how Hiramoto's style operates as a result. And it's also worth noting that their editorial section commences as normal. Once he puts his pants on and he talks about her series, it's like, yeah, this is a great romantic comedy you set up here. And she's like, no, there's a comedy here. It's like, okay, what are you talking about? This is like so dumb if there's no comedy at all. And when she hears this, like she beats the living shit out of him. So yeah, that's if you thought that sounded like funny and entertaining, like then yeah, go for it at all. But if you think that this kind of like this kind of like sexual humor is not your cup of tea, then this series is not for you. Because basically, yeah, it is basically like Prison School, the style of comedy presented within Prison School, but with superheroes. And but one other thing that's worth mentioning is that Prison School basically ended with in a way that felt like Hiramoto was just kind of like, fuck it, I'm done. And like Raw Hero, well, I guess it ends better because I guess if anyone's listening to this, you want to know what I think of the final volume. And basically, the thrust of the final volume is that South is basically trying to get a revenge against this one publication outfit that has basically published a negative article about them, and so they're going to try and their sensible plan is to blow up the it's like the publication office in this building. The thing is though that as we're told, it's not really like a real bomb, and the outside forces like led by Asahima-san, the elephant guy, like aren't like don't have like a lot of don't have actually like real explosive force to them. Like this is gonna be a big paint bomb that's gonna be set off inside the office, while Asahina-san like is gonna set off some RPG paint grenades from outside. It's fun and all. This is cool. Except that as we as we learn, it's like later in the story, the bomb that Chiaki and his cohorts, Ryo, Hishi, Kobe, and Posan have set up. Well, it turns out the bomb they've been given is an actual real one that has been given to them by Korida, and it turns out that the reason this is because that it's basically like a false flag operation. Basically, the bomb is real because they want because the GMT wants the South to commit an actual terrorist act rather than just the actual protests they've been doing, um, so they can round them up as legitimate terrorists. So, catch it's like the catch is that Yorohishi. It's like who? Well, one thing I haven't mentioned is that Chiaki has actually been really good at running his South cell. In the sense that Hoshi is just basically a loves is basically an overweight lovesick doofus. It's like who is in love with Chiaki's female persona, even up until the point where like where Chiaki just bummed out of his mind because he realizes he's ruined his relationship with Mariko, goes to take a goes to use the bathroom with Hoshi and realizes that, oh my god, it's like I'm a girl, but I'm actually using the urinal standing up with this guy. And Hoshi realizes and I goes, oh my god, the person I'm in love with is actually has a penis. And well, what does he do? Well, Hoshi, to his credit, because he's been basically just been like a kind of an unlikable troll, like up to this point. He basically realizes that you know what, like he takes Guitar Wolf's proclamation in Wild Year that Ace love knows no boundaries, nationalities, or genders. It's like he's basically determined to let Chiaki know that he loves him, regardless of whether or not the fact that he has a penis, both by eating lots of bananas and then by deep throating as many bananas as he can. So yeah, that's that's where he is at the beginning of volume 6, and as they're trying to like lay the bomb, it's like in this office. Only the thing is, like once Chiaki is captured by some of the South's like officers, and as well as their inside person with the it's like with their Chiaki is captured by the GMT's top operative, and also by their spy within the South. Like they realize they tell them what the deal is, and that hey we want to blow the South to blow up this office. We this terrorist. Problem is that Hoshi, who has been given the bomb, is so dumb that he's just banging the bomb against the surface, and because he's just bored and all. And well, it's like it comes down to a Chiaki to basically tell Hoshi that that he's actually been given a real bomb, and that he's got to find a way to separate it from his hand in order to get him out of here. And the fact that it turns out that the South are not a bunch of complete idiots, and they've actually got an idea of who the actual spy is within their within the organization. So it's basically this leads to a fairly ridiculous climax that also involves threats to cut off hands. The problems with setting up your hand as a USB charging point, and also the fact that the one guy in your operation who doesn't speak any English may actually be the most capable operative of your of your whole group. And when it all climaxes, well, you you get the first volume flashback that basically lets you know that that oh wait, Hiromoto actually did have kind of a plan for this, but not really. It's like you just had it's kind of strikes me as an all-purpose um, plan to like hey, you know, like this prophecy could have been fulfilled by at any point, but you know at the end of volume 6, it's good enough for me. And you know, and then Chiaki tries to do the right thing, but because he's kind of a dope, fails to do that. But in the end, actually kind of has a good ending, and works things out for his family, maybe for his co-workers, but certainly not for his girl, because there's because it because volume 6 does kind of the feeling that he was kind of like that Hiromoto was forced to wrap things up right now, but I don't know. It's a better wrap up than we got the prison school. And if I'm being honest, prison school was a 28 volume series, and I realize that's a huge commitment for anyone to dive into. But Raw Hero, it's only 6 volumes, and I think that it does a good job of showing you what the creator is all about within that length. So basically, I think that as much as I want to recommend Prison School, I think that Raw Hero is a much better um, you know exemplar of Hiromoto's overall style. So if you read this series, all 6 volumes, and you think that, hey, you know what, I want more, it's like, then yeah, it's like Prison School is there waiting for you. But if you read this and you think, yeah, this is about it, I'm good with it, then maybe don't dive into it. But still, I think that both series kind of exemplify like Hiromoto as kind of the guy who's like modern mastered fan service for someone as old as I am, because it's like I've got the internet. It's like I've got all the access to boobs and butts. It's like and whatever that you can want. But he's a guy who's just determined to find new, interesting ways to present them in a way that hey, I can appreciate, for lack of a better term. So so there's that. It's like I do recommend Raw Hero, but like I said, it's good. Like if you're looking for like like fan service material presented in a more ambitious manner than just hey here's boobs, here's butts. You know, there you go.
Boobs and butts.
Exactly.
No. All right. Well, that's an interesting point of view, and yeah, I've seen fan service everywhere.
Well, I mean, you've been around longer than I have, John, so I certainly hope you would have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and how do I? What do I think of fan service? There's a line. And
It kind of at this point, I think it's like as old as we are, we kind of like want to see creativity in how like our fan service is deployed, and that's what I appreciate about Hiromoto's style.
that's the example I would throw out is like, hey, look, if it's yeah, fan service, there's some real criticism against fan service, but then there is the flip side of it, which is like it's well, yeah, it's there, but how about the rest of the story? Does it actually hold up? Is it so a lot of the things there? So sometimes, yeah, it's there, but and this goes beyond manga and anime. It actually goes into other. I've heard this even being made. Like criticisms of fan service being made, and like let's say certain Star Wars television shows. So it's like,
Mm-hmm.
okay, all right, but how's the story? Things like that. So yeah, it's kind of an interesting topic, really. And this sounds pretty. If it gets your recommendation, hey, that's worth checking out. So, do you know what you're going to be talking about next time?
Well, if the final volume of Oku arrives in time for the next podcast, then it's going to be that. If not, well, I I've got some stuff I like to talk about in my to review library that we'll talk about instead. So there you go. It'll
All
it,
right.
it'll hopefully be Oku, but if not, it'll be something else.
All right. Well, that sounds great. we'll talk to you next time on Comic Picks by the Click.
All right, laters, everyone.